everyone, and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. My name is Cece and today we're doing another mixed media project. So in today's mixed media project, we're going to be using our chalks. We're going to be stenciling with our chalks, and look at this. This is chalk. Look at my finger. There's no residue. How did I do this? I will show you right now, and it's such a cool technique. So before we go ahead and start on our project, I'm going to show you what I used to create this little canvas. So obviously we're going to work on our craft mat, and I have my set of chalks here, the archival ink in jet black, 3 makeup sponges, I've got my collapsible water bucket, a brush, a piece of white cardstock that measures about 2.5 by 4, a 6 by 6 canvas, our beautiful Dilution stamp set. This one is called Word Love. The 6 by 6 mini chunky chevron template by Crafters Workshop from the Walzer Designs collection. A palette knife, glitter paste, and this one is the clear one. Some washi tape, matte multi-medium gel by Claudine Helmet Studio, and some pastel fixative like this one, the Spectra Fix. And you're also going to need these 3 markers or whatever is similar, as long as these 2 here, these 2 black markers, are permanent. I'm using a Copic marker and I'm using the Pitt Artist Pen in black. Both of these are black. This is a finer tip for doodling. And I'm going to be using also the Faber-Castell Pink Matter Big Brush pen to color in. This is basically what the technique consists of. You have a stencil and you've got your chalks, and we're not going to use them dry. What we're going to do is we're going to wet the sponge and then pick up the chalk, which makes it more fluid, less volatile, of course. And this is what it looks like. This is beautiful. This is a background that I did with another stencil that I just have lying around in my stash. And I just stamped over it to see what it would look like, and I just love, love, love. We're gonna use that as inspiration for our canvas. So I'm just gonna lay down my stencil right over here, and I'm gonna start with the yellow. I'm just gonna dip my sponge here in the water, and I'm going to pick up some of that bright, funky yellow right here on my sponge. So I'm going to make sure that I have a good amount of chalk here. And I'm just going to go in circle randomly. Let me zoom in so you can see, appreciate that. Look at how creamy the chalks, all of a sudden they get all creamy and they're really easy to swirl around. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to choose random spots here. And don't worry if you don't get it right the first time or to your liking. You can always layer more on top. I'm going to pick up more of that beautiful yellow, like so. And now I'm going to move on to my pink color. So again, I'm wetting my sponge in water right here. And I'm going to grab some of that fuchsia, gorgeous, and just going to rub that over the stencil, all over the stencil. We want to cover all of the surface of that stencil. And look how beautiful that is. Maybe I'll add some here. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to my teal. And again, I'm wetting my sponge in my water, and I'm just going to pick up that beautiful. I'm going to add my teal. Alright, so when we lift the canvas, and look here, this is where I went a little crazy with my water, but that's okay. That's okay. It just adds to the charm. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this dry for just a little bit. I mean, it is kind of dry. You can very well stamp over that, but I'm just going to leave it alone for now. And I'm going to do something all around the edges of my canvas. And as you can see, I left my canvas white, but I like that. I wanted to have a softer look, and because I wanted the words to pop out. So what I'm going to do while this is kind of like drying sort of, I'm just going to take my washi tape, and I'm just going to add a bit of that tape around the canvas just to give it more interest. I'm just going to rub that. There we go. Like this. Just so that the edges are not completely white. And as you can see, I'm tearing with my fingers. I'm not worried about the pieces being of the same length. In fact, I think I'm going to add 2 on this side, a short one, and maybe a bigger piece down the bottom that goes around the corner. How's that? Oh. Like this, and turning it around and pressing with my fingers just to make it adhere completely to the canvas. Actually, here, like so. This is fun. Okay, so I ripped this, no big deal. Let me just rip that little piece there. That's all I'm going to do to it, but look how pretty already that is. So now we're going to stamp directly over that. Now, the thing about canvases is that usually the middle is hollowed, and sometimes you get uneven edges where the wood frame is. So to stamp on this can be a little tricky, but I've done it before, and what you have to do is you sort of have to, excuse me, take the stamp into your hand and just press onto your canvas. Again, if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's okay. Learn to live with the small mistakes. They're not mistakes, they're just interpretations. I will grab the word dream, art, and love for this piece of art because we're making art. I think I'm going to grab the small art here. So dream, love from this. And art will be stamped on our piece of white cardstock. Remember at the beginning I told you you needed a piece of white cardstock, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right away. For this one here, I'm going to use an acrylic block just because I can. Like so. I'm going to stamp it right in the middle, like this. I'm going to use my Copic. I'm going to use my black Copic. For this, I'm going to use the small tip, and I'm just going to form a heart shape, like so. My lines are not perfect. I think I'm going to use a finer tip marker. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this outline to just go around the same shape different times. And you're going to get squiggly lines, and this is what you want. And all of a sudden, my uneven heart shape looks very artistic. Shall we color our heart pink? Color it in. And because we used 2 permanent ink markers, it doesn't matter if we go over the black line. The Copic is alcohol based. Big Brush Pen is water based. So we're good to go. And as you can see, I'm not being perfect with my coloring. I just use my marker, that's it. Now I can cut. I wanted to do the heart at first because I wanted to make sure that I had enough space to put in my word. But I'm going to take my stamp. I'm going to make sure that I have enough ink all over the stamp. And if you're not sure about how much ink you're putting on your stamp when you have it in your hands like this, just go ahead and put it on a block, ink it, and then remove it from the block and stamp. So I got good coverage right here, and I'm just going to stamp it right here. Who would have thunk it that one day I would stamp without a block? Look at this! Yay! How cool is that? I think I'm gonna put my dream right here at the bottom. And we're not going to be done right after that. We have something fun, something else that's fun to do over top our stenciling. So I'm going to make sure that this stamp again is all juicy from the ink, and I'm going to stamp it right here. Again, I'm just going to make sure that I'm pressing everywhere without smudging it. Smudging and not smudging. Smudging is a new word. So I got a little bit of the outline here. That's okay. I don't mind. I love it. So I'm going to put some multi-medium matte gel all over my heart. Yeah, my heart. My art heart. I don't know why I always like to have my brush just a little bit wet when I apply the medium. I think it just goes on smoother. So I'm going to make sure that I've got enough all around this heart. Bringing back my canvas, and I'm going to put the heart right here. Like so. Making sure that everything is sealed properly, going over the heart with a brush. Like this. And I'm going to use another piece of washi tape, and I'm just going to put it on the corner of the heart right here. Like so. Bring back the stencil and a palette knife and that glitter paste. Now this glitter paste, I just started playing with this yesterday, and it dries three-dimensional, so you can actually stencil with it, slather it on, put in like a thick enough coat, and it will dry as is. So it gives you that added texture and dimension to your work, which I love, love, love. And it's just going to add a little bit of bling to our canvas. So I have the clear one here. I also played yesterday with that dark blue, which is beautiful, but I think it would be too dark for our canvas today. So I'm just gonna, whoops, I'm just gonna lay this right over what we had, and I'm just going to just put a few, just fill in a few of that space with my palette knife. Look at how beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to remove this and show you what it does. Okay, and maybe I'm gonna put some here, and I'm going to go a little bit over the heart. Why not? Because it will dry transparent. So it doesn't matter. We'll be able to see, you know, underneath. I'm just going to add a little bit here. Not to hide my boo-boo, but just, you know, to give it more interest. This. It's so nice. Sorry, I had to go wash my stencil because the one good thing about this glitter paste is that it dries very quickly. I mean, it's quite impressive. I'm just going to give you a close-up here. Look at that! It's so nice. I love it. It's so fun. I love that chalk. It's kind of like, oh, I wish you could see it in real. Hold on, let me close up as close as I can. But I don't know if you can see, it's a very soft look, but the colors are still quite vibrant. Look at that beautiful yellow with the pink and the teal. How gorgeous is that? And it just, oh, it looks so amazing in person. And look at our glitter paste. Look at that. Isn't this fun? I think I'm not done. I think I want to add just a little piece of washi tape here underneath love to underscore the word love, because I kind of feel like he's all alone in his little corner. There, I've added a few extra pieces of washi tape just to have that triangular visual. I had so much fun. It was quick to put together, but I love, love, love the background. Can you imagine, like, I know that we have the stencils that have like the trees on them. There's negative and positive. Imagine doing a beautiful 6x6 or whatever size you want, like a winter scene. I would probably stencil the trees like with a light blue or a light gray stencil with some chalks, and then take the same stencil and slap on a nice coat of that glitter paste here and there to mimic snow or frost, and you can give that as a gift for Christmas or whenever you want. Yeah, so my mind is running a mile a minute. I'm getting all kinds of ideas now. This is what happens when I discover something that I really get into. Because the washi tape is removable, it tends to lift a little bit, so you have two options at this point. You can either glue it with the multi-medium gel. I might do that just to secure it in place while I spray this fixative. Now the great thing about this fixative is that first of all, it's a pastel fixative, so it's great for chalks, although when I rub my hand over it, there is no chalk residue on my hands. But just to be on the safe side, maybe just to protect it from water or, you know, whatever's out there, I would give it a coat or two of this. Now, this fixative is an all natural, odor-free fixative. There is no toxic fumes. You can do it inside a room. It doesn't matter. This is milk casein based. You can apply this over your pastel, pencil, charcoal, watercolor, any type of mixed media will do. So I'm going to go ahead and give a few coats of this. It dries matte, so it will not change the look of your canvas or your work. So I'm going to give this a try, and if you come to the store to check this out, the fixative will be on this. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun doing this. Look how, I mean, it doesn't look simple, but it was so simple to make. I'm going to have to look at all my stencils I have at home and give some love to my old chalk set. Believe it or not, it's very old. It looks brand new because I've never used it, because I never knew how to use my chalks. I mean, they're volatile. Chalk is volatile. But with this technique, because you're applying it with water, all of a sudden it becomes another medium to play with. Give this a try. If you have any questions, as usual, leave them in the comments section below. And I will talk to you soon. À la prochaine!